So debates on Social Security have been sparked in Congress among Democrats and Republicans. Lawmakers and economists are now urging that monthly Social Security benefits be increased to help Americans during this crisis. So here's the most important stimulus check and Social Security news that you want to know. Social Security beneficiaries are receiving the highest COLA adjustment in decades. That's thanks to rising inflation. The 5.9% increase went into effect in January. Prices have continued to climb higher since then, back in October. And according to data released this week, the CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index, climbed 7% in December from the previous year. That's the fastest increase since 1982. And excluding food and energy prices, the index was up 5.5% from the previous year. Record high inflation comes as policymakers and experts are debating whether Social Security's annual cost of living adjustment accurately reflects the price increases that seniors face. The Social Security Administration used a specific measurement known as the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers to calculate those annual adjustments. But friends, new Social Security reform bills has just been proposed in Congress. This bill seeks to change the measurement to an experimental index for people ages 62 and over, known as the CPI for the elderly, or the CPIE. President Biden advocated for this change along with other Social Security reforms during his campaign. Social Security and senior advocacy groups have called for changing over to the CPIE, which was created in 1987 by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. And according to the president of an advocacy group of Social Security Works, this bill ensures that benefits will not erode but will maintain the purchasing power over time. But according to some economists, to best measure the cost that seniors face, it may make more sense to use a different measure than CPIE, which just reweighs data collected for the population as a whole. And according to some few economists, that change should not be a first priority, as more urgent fixes are needed to improve Social Security solvency. If nothing is done by 2034, just 78% of benefits will be payable. But beneficiaries who are worried about rising prices can now take comfort in the fact that they will be factored into next year's COLA. There is no guarantee the annual increase in 2023 will be as high. The second round of Social Security checks, reflecting a new cost of living adjustment of 5.9%, are going out February. The COLA increase is the largest in nearly 40 years for recipients who qualify. It comes at a time when inflation is at 7% and expected to continue rising. Those whose birth date falls between the 1st and 10th of the month will receive the payment on Wednesday. For those whose birth dates falls between 11th and 20th, the payment will arrive the following Wednesday. And if your birthday is anywhere from the 21st to the 31st, then your payment will get out the last Wednesday of the month. There is also a petition calling on the federal government to provide Americans with $2,000 stimulus checks, and this is the change.org petition. Today, that online petition calls for action in Congress. Nancy Pelosi said in an interview that more people need help now and more help should be on the way. Stephanie Bonin says she is already hearing from supporters of the petition who need more stimulus checks now. So if you guys truly believe that President Biden needs to do a better job on sending out stimulus payments, then tell me in the comments down below.
Thank you so much, Julissa. It is part of the reason that we are so excited about this effort. It is because it's about investing in the future of our nation. And that means investing in our future leaders and our current leaders, of which Julissa is one. So thank you, Julissa, for your leadership and your voice and your courage and your brilliance. Mr. Roundtree, her principal, I want to say that she is doing a great job, and I want to thank you for all of the young students that you are mentoring. So thank you. So it is a pleasure to be here today, and I want to thank Julissa for really pointing out how essential the internet is and how essential it is to have an internet connection, not only for the sake of their educational success, but in so many ways that is about understanding the full reality of a full human being. So it is a pleasure to be here today with also two true champions of our nation's working people. FCC Chairwoman Jessica Rosenworcel, who has worked for years to make high-speed internet more affordable and more accessible. And thank you, Chairwoman, for your leadership. And Mitch Landrieu, our administration's infrastructure coordinator. He is passionate and he is dedicated and has lived a life of service. And I thank you, Mitch, for all that you have done on this issue and so many other issues. So I will begin with what I believe is a simple truth. In the 21st century, high-speed internet is a necessity, not a luxury, a necessity. Our world has moved online. And that is why from day one, the President and I have fought to make it easier for everyone to access and afford high-speed internet. Today, we are celebrating a major milestone in that fight. You see, during the pandemic, millions of people, families in particular, depended on high-speed internet. Young people used the internet to access digital textbooks, attend virtual classes, and collaborate on science projects, all at their kitchen table. Parents used the internet to buy groceries, paper towels, and other daily essentials. The internet allowed folks to take care of their children and get their essential needs accomplished. Business owners, like the one I met from Missouri last year, rely on the internet to coordinate with suppliers overseas. Many workers use the internet to do their jobs virtually. People everywhere use high-speed internet to stream movies for family movie night. Jaleesa talked about that. To video chat with friends that are far away. To view a tutorial on how to fix that leaky faucet. To read the news, check the weather, or plan a trip. For so many of us, we use the internet as an essential and integrated part of our daily lives, and we take it for granted. And yet today, more than 42 million people in our country, 42 million people, do not have access to high-speed internet, which obviously means students are sitting in fast food restaurant parking lots to do their homework over public Wi-Fi, because that is the only place they have internet access. Seniors are taking their telemedicine visits, not at home in the privacy of their home, but in local libraries with little or no privacy. There are so many reasons why it is so difficult for people in our nation to access reliable, high-speed internet. And today, we are here to talk about one of the most common reasons: cost, the expense of it. Half of all the people who do not have high-speed internet say it is because the monthly cost is too high. Well, the President and I know that the cost of living has gone up, and we are working hard to help working families pay their bills. Every person in our nation and every parent, no matter how much they earn, should be able to access high-speed